Hello and welcome to Fun Maths, where we break down maths concepts in the simplest way possible. Today, we are diving into a super important topic, proportion. Have you ever wondered why increasing the number of workers on a task reduces the time taken? Or why buying more apples increases the total cost? That's proportion at work. Stick around to find out how these concepts shape our daily lives. Let's start with the meaning of proportion. Proportion is a relationship between two quantities. When one quantity changes, the other changes in a predictable way. There are basically two types of proportion. We have the direct proportion and the indirect or inverse proportion. What is direct proportion? When two quantities increase or decrease together at the same rate, they are directly proportional. That is, when one quantity increases and the other increases, or when one quantity decreases and the other decreases, we simply refer to them as direct proportion. Let's take an example. 4 meters of fabric cost £28. 7 meters of the same fabric will cost £49. You notice that as the number of meters of fabric increased from 4 to 7, the price also increased from £28 to £49. That's a basic example of direct proportion because both quantities are increasing at the same time. Now, to solve direct proportion, we use the X method. I'll take an example so I can explain this better. Example 1. A car travels 210 miles on 30 liters of petrol. How far will it travel on 45 liters of petrol? To solve this question, we'll first of all identify if the question is direct or inverse proportion. Because the liters of petrol has increased from 30 to 45 liters, of course, the number of miles will also increase from 210 because we have more petrol to use. So this tells me that it's a direct proportion. To solve, I have to arrange my quantities on different sides of the equal to sign. That is, 30 liters equal to 210 miles. So if I have 45 liters, ensure that each quantities are on the same side of the equal to sign. That is, liters on one side and miles on the other side. Because I don't know the number of miles, I'll replace it with an unknown, x. Now, I said to solve direct proportion, we use the X method. So what does the X method mean? It simply means that we'll say X multiplied by 30 equal to 45 multiplied by 210. So 30 times X is 30X, 45 times 21. I'll quickly do 45 multiplied by 21. That's 5, and this is 4. This is 10. 2 times 4 is 8 plus 1, 9. That's 945. Don't forget your extra 0. So we have 9,450. Then I'll divide both sides by the coefficient of x, which is 30. So 30, we take out 30. 0 can take out 0. 3 divided by 9 is 3. 3 in 4 is 1 with a remainder of 1. And 3 in 15 is 5. So my x will simply be equal to 315 miles. So for 45 liters, I'm going to move for 315 miles. Let's take another example. A recipe requires 300 grams of flour to make 24 biscuits. How much flour is needed to make 36 biscuits? Now, the number of biscuits has increased from 24 to 36. Of course, I'll need more flour to make 36 biscuits. So this tells me that this question is in direct proportion. To solve this, always ensure that each variable are on different sides of the equal to sign. So 36 grams of flour will make 24 biscuits. I have already predicted that the number of flour will increase, and I don't know what it will increase to, so I'm replacing that with an unknown x. That will give us 36 biscuits. To solve this, I will apply my x method because it's in direct proportion. And that's simply x multiplied by 24 equal to 36 multiplied by 300. x times 24 is 24x, while 36 times 300, that's 36 times 3, 18, 10. Don't forget your two zeros, is 10,800. If I divide both sides by 24, 24 will take out 24. My f will simply be equal to, I'll quickly do my division to get 10,800 divided by 24. 108 divided by 24 is 4. 4 times 24 is 96. If I subtract, I will get 2 and 1. I'll bring down 0. 120 divided by 24 is 5. 5 times 24 is 120. I'll subtract and bring down the last 0. 0 divided by 24 is 0. 0 times 24 is 0. So I'm simply left with 450 grams. So I'm going to need 450 grams of flour to make 36 biscuits. Now let's go to the other type of proportion, which is inverse proportion. When one quantity increases, the other decreases, or when one quantity decreases, the other increases. This is what is referred to as inverse proportion. For example, if 6 men can finish a job in 16 days, 8 men working at the same rate will take 12 days. Now, you notice that the number of men has increased from 6 to 8 men. The number of days that they are going to spend to complete that same job will, of course, reduce because there are more men to do the job. So, as 6 increases to 12 men, to 8 men, 16 days decreases to 12 days. That's how to identify inverse or indirect proportion. To solve inverse proportion, we use the Z method. Note the Z method. Let's take an example so that I can explain this better. Example 1. If 6 printers can print 1,800 leaflets in 4 hours, how long will it take 9 printers to print the same number of leaflets? You notice that as the number of leaflets has increased from 6 to 9, the number of hours that they are going to take for that same job will definitely reduce because I now have more printers to do the job. Now, like I did before, I'll arrange my variables on each side of the equal to sign. So 6 printers equal to 4 hours. Then 9 printers will definitely spend less time, but I don't know the amount of time yet, so I'll replace that with an unknown x. And I said, when it comes to inverse proportion, we use the Z method. And what does the Z method mean? Just take your unknown x and multiply 6 by 4, then divide by 9. That's how the Z method works. You multiply, then you divide. So 6 times 4 is 24. 24 divided by 9. I'll change this into a mixed number. That's just simply 2 whole number 6 over 9 to the lowest term. That's 2 and this is 3. So that's 2 whole number 2 over 3 hours. So it means that to complete this job, the printer will spend 2 whole number 2 over 3 hours. Let's take another example. If 8 builders can complete a job in 10 days, how many days will it take 20 builders to complete the same job? Now, 8 builders will complete a job in 10 days. Because the number of builders has increased from 8 to 20 builders, of course they are going to spend less days. I'll replace that with an unknown. Then applying my Z method, because it's an inverse proportion, my unknown will simply be equal to 8 multiplied by 10 divided by 20. 8 multiplied by 10 is 80 over 20. 0 will take out 0. 8 divided by 2 is simply 4. So it means that 20 builders will spend 4 days. Now it's your turn. Practice time. Pause the video and try out these practice questions. You can drop your answers in the comments and I'll be glad to see them. That's it for today. I hope you now understand direct and inverse proportion better. If you enjoyed this lesson, don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell so you don't miss out on more awesome math videos. See you next time, and remember, math is fun when you understand it. Bye for now.